Hello everyone, today we're gonna be talking about my newest rack library called Rack Tap. It's 64 ready to go racks and drum racks, instrument mostly, and yep, these include a lot of operator ones, serum ones. Well, no, actually serum is only 3, but mostly stuff that comes with live or free synthesizers like BB1 and Vital, which I recommend a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna show you a few examples that I've done. These are all examples that I didn't record the audio for. I was recording the video. This is the second try, by the way. The first one I did. Is it playing now? No, it isn't. I'm gonna make the same mistake again. Way to go, Matthias. Jesus Christ. Let me select voice meter wave. This one should do it. Yeah. So those all of these sounds are made with racks that come included with the pack. For example, this whole packet machine, these leads, ARPs, effects, granulators, chords, wobbly ARPs, and wavetable ARPs. Let me show you a few examples of how easy to ready to use they are, and out of the box you will just hit the ground running with these sounds. If you're making, for example, a new part on this section of my song, I had nothing, and a few minutes later with this rack sounds I had a new section. Right, so that's the idea of this. Why I cannot unmute these things, please? So let's add a few in this section. We started. I'm gonna add this, but sporadically. I'm gonna sprinkle this sound around the track, but let me show you a few of the good ones. We have, for example, granulators. Granulators are great to make experimental sounds like this. Let me make a longer one. You have sliced leads that I couldn't include with the synthesizer involved. That it's better to get out of the equation, so we have the sound sliced into a new MIDI track, and you can play the different slices of the sound, different position. This for some reason has pitch modulation on the clip, which we should get rid of if we want to make a sound a little bit more neutral. But the way this works is basically a sound that is sliced into nested simplers that well, they play a different slice, and you can actually, if you scale, if you make a sequence of notes that goes up from bottom to up, you get the original sound like so. But you can also shuffle it up and play different sections of it, like that. Or you can do just select one part. Right. You just choose your own adventure with this. There's a bunch of kick 2 chains for tracks that I liked. You will need kick 2 for it, but it's just 4 of them. For people that want tracks or that are more interested in that aspect of the rack or the chain of a kick drum, and as well with their own basses, BB1s. There is a bunch of Vital, which is free and I think is good. There's a bunch of simpler ones that will need samples. That's why I included this sample folder with all the needed samples for these instrument tracks. Live Ableton is not very good with condensing all the needed or required files into one ADG file. So in this case, when you load one of these, it will look for example, this one. Let's say this one. This includes some MIDI devices, but also all these samples that you will be missing when you load this for the first time in the computer. And you will see here, down here, you will see that they go to my own user library samples, imported, whatever. But what I did is I just included these samples. These perks come with my high-tech snares sound bank. So yeah, I included those sounds just so everything works in this rack pack. Racked up. So let's talk about, yeah, this one is also super good. What I like to do with this one is record a little bit of the MIDI coming out of it from what is in this case is channel 104, and then replace the MIDI that's recorded, put the clip here on the channel that has all the MIDI effects, and then get rid of the MIDI effects or mute them, so you can actually play with the notes, with the actual written sequence, and modify it and make it more perfect according to your track, no? So this is not working for some reason. Did I select 104 is the drum rack and post effect? Let's say let's put drum rack post effect. Let's record from here. I'm gonna delete this speaker. I'm gonna mute the speaker so we don't have a lot of background feedback. So what I meant by that is we can now mute these guys and play with the MIDI itself, make corrections, make I don't know, different rates of rhythm. Add things that make it more spicy and more personal. So that is the percussive Euclidean grids. We have Hocket machines as well. We have let me add one of those Hocket machines here. Hocket machines are great because it's a very different approach on how to create a cascade of sounds. And instead of writing an individual channel for each sound, individual MIDIs for each sound, we will just have one channel with all the sounds. It's a bit loud. I'm gonna take the makeup. I'm gonna switch off the state of the makeup. So you can see that there might be a bunch of sounds here, but we can mute some of them. So this macro, the Hocketness macro, will actually decide which sound plays and which sounds are muted. Normally, when one sound plays or is allowed to go through, all the rest are muted. So this will allow us to create a cascade of sounds that is like so, for example. And after a certain point on the map, you have after 88, we have from 88 to 127 of nothing, no sounds. So that is also another variable that plays into. So you have gaps and silences in between the sounds, which I think is great. You can use this with an LFO as well if you want the LFO to sequence this cascade of sounds, give you ideas. You can change resolutions like so. If you want to make it slow and then suddenly longer type. We need something here. Okay, so those are Hocket machines. There's 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one another here in the granulator, and there's one more down here. What else? We have bass lines, we have shepherd stones, we have let's see what this one is. I don't remember by the name itself, so we might need to explore a little. Let's grab a MIDI from here. This is a classic random but quantized melody that we just generate here. So we pass through some intervals, then we arpeggiate it, then we randomize it and scale it. So this will give us a bunch of melodies that we can use. What else? We have, let's see, we have operators with lead sounds, for example. These are also ready to go out of the box. What is this? This other one is another one of my racks. This one is called minor chord pitch. This one is called FM lead. You see we have 8 macros here for this for the most key parameter useful modulations, such as frequency, resonance, amount of FM, if you want one part to be a little bit more aggressive, and well, auto rhythm modulation with the beat repeater. So all the sounds, all the racks are with integrated devices from Live, granulator, operator, drum rack, simplers, wavetables, Vital that is free, BB1 that is free. There is 3 serums and 1 massive, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3 massives, 3 serums for people that I think those are one of the most popular, some of the most popular VSTs that everybody has, but still I try to keep it as close as factory things that are free things that we can grab from the internet, so everything works. In case you need any samples, yeah, samples are here. You will need to replace some samples when you load some of them, the drum rack ones and the simpler ones, but other than that, it's all sounds that come from soft synthesizers. This one, for example, is not. This is a simpler with a lead. You see sample is offline because I moved it when I was creating this. But if you go here, you will see that it has the same name. So this is a very good example of how to make them work. When sample is offline, you see simpler lead rack, same name. Just drop it there, and it works. This is just a bunch of sounds here, that's why we cannot listen to it, but it is there. Another sound that I think it might require a little work when you load it is the shepherd's tone, but this is something that if you watch my tutorials or my techniques, it is something you should have seen already a million times. Shepherd's tone is an audio illusion that creates a bunch of it's a sort of shifter or riser that the mind tricks the mind into thinking that it's always going up in pitch when it's just 6 operators or 7 operators doing 1 octave up. But since they are all doing it simultaneously, then you kind of lose the ability to perceive the point in which they reset and they start again. So this is a complex track, which is, I think, because of the 7 operators that it has inside. But in order to make it work, it's very simple. You just need to put basically pitch bend modulation on it that goes from the half 0 to here, and this will produce that shifting up. If we loop this a bunch of times, then we create the illusion. It comes integrated with a bunch of macros like LFO amount, LFO type, filtering, FM, and all those good stuff. But yeah, in this case, this is maybe not the one there's two actually. There's two shepherd's tone. There is another one here called tone riser, shepherd's tone riser, and this one I tried to add on the clips, on the devices themselves, the reference, not to forget. Don't forget to set the pitch ramp in don't forget to set the pitch ramp in clip envelope, so that completes the effect. So yeah, we have the effect together with I think the best example for this is if the ramp goes 2 times, double timing on this. Instead of just going up, we're gonna do it in double that time, like so. That's harder to perceive. But anyways, these sounds, like for example the shepherd's tone, has its own video on YouTube if you wanna see it. We have here, this is the effect. It's in Spanish because I uploaded this 10 years ago, but almost 11 years ago, 2012. Hocket Machine is also important because you might want to see this video as well. I'm going to link these two videos because it's easier to understand. It's a more patient, longer explanation of how to do one of these, and there's also a free instrument rack that you can grab from the video description as well. So that's it basically for this video. I don't want to make it too long. What I wanted to make, yes, is an example of how to make one of these sounds. So let's duplicate this. So when I make this type of effect tracks, I start thinking about what would make my life easier next time I want to make, for example, a melody or a sound that is an arpeggio or a melodic sound. So I'm going to start adding a few MIDI effects, like the chord, the arpeggiator, the random, the scale. And these MIDI effects will help me create the sound, and will also minimize the MIDI work I have to do on the actual MIDI clip, but rather do it here. For example, if I want an arpeggio that has certain amount of intervals, for example these ones, +10, -2, +3, +1, blah blah, and let's add an instrument so we can hear it. Yeah, give me the Python, please. So we have this. We have the intervals that we want. We can multiply those by a couple of octaves up and a couple of octaves down. So we have this wider range arpeggio, like so. It's a very short note, but we can make it longer. We can also decide if we want the thing to have a certain scale. We can use the scale. Is great for creating your own scales. For example, +2, 3, 5, 7, 8. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, one octave. We can go down again, so on and so forth. But this will basically allow us to create scale modes and also use some of the most well-known scales like Dorian, major, minors, Phrygian, and all those. It's a good idea to quantize, if you're using a lot of MIDI effects and a lot of randomness, to quantize your MIDI. So this, if we group these devices, why I'm not allowed to do this, Control A. Well, fuck that. I don't know why it's not allowing me to do that, which is crazy, but never mind. For example, one of the first macros I'm gonna add is the amount of random. So if I want random to actually change the notes, or if it will allow them to pass through unscathed with this original set of notes and rules. Second one would be this, to gate and rate, and maybe style. If we wanted, for example, to change some of the parameters that come with the third-party VST, like Vital, we can configure it. So we are actually now allowed to macro this. Which I think is important. We can macro more stuff, like for example the release, if we wanted to. We can add that as well. Make the macro names as descriptive as possible. We can say length, Okay, we can say here random chance. Sync rate is obvious, but we can say ARP rate. Things that are more descriptive. We can say release. It's not an envelope, no. And also it's important to determine the min and the max, the floor and the ceiling of these things. If you don't want to surpass 100% on the arpeggiator, which makes no sense, then yeah, it's important to know what the map and the minimum and the max does, no? Minimizing those dead zones, you get more of the sweet spot and you get less chance to make a mistake, and also you get more definition on the wheel, on the sweep in general, because you have less values and you have only the important values. Same with the filter. You don't want the filter to ever go so low, right? So you set it on the minimum and you say I don't want to go less than this. So now you have way more definition on the part that matters. Also release, for example, you want to set the maximum of the release. Release maximum is 60 seconds. If I'm not mistaken, it's 1 minute of release. We don't want that, so we're gonna set it to something like half of that, so we have more definition. Yeah, so those are things that are important to take into consideration when we're doing a rack: the macros, the mappings, the ranges of the macros, the sweet spots, and also, well, at the end of the chain, we want to process the sound so it's ready to mingle with the rest of the sounds, so it doesn't have a lot of bass or a lot of highs. And we do a little equalization and processing. Maybe we want to add one of these guys as well, you know, just to make sure that the sound is not crazy. And well, of course, we would need to play a little more with the sound itself, the vital itself. We're only doing macro stuff, MIDI effect stuff, and things like that. But yeah, of course, the sound itself is important. So if you wanted to, for example, well, this is something we could also macro, the erosion position. Erosion cutoff. And why not add a little random to the pulse. I'm happier with that. I'm really happy with that. And yeah, if you want a little more modulation other than what it's included between the devices, or for example, if I wanted to move this erosion around a little, I would do it with an LFO. Let's go lower than them. That might be a little much. but you get the idea, no? I'm gonna add a bunch of this actually. Let's put another one that is doing a random, squared random on the style of the arpeggiator. And another one that is doing, wait a minute, add it somewhere. Doesn't matter where, but just add it. We're gonna map the amount of random. Well, also a squared sampling and hold random on this one. What do you guys think about this sound? Let me know in the comments if it is shit, if it is good. I will post the link. I will post this actual preset and another one as freebies for the YouTube community or the people that watch this video on YouTube. Yep, let's save it like that with the... Wait a minute, no, this is not the one. Let's save it here with the diskette, the old school vintage diskette here on the rack. Don't do it on this one or this one or this one. Do it on the one that's on top of the macros. And we're gonna save this as let's put a name that makes it easy to recognize. It is a minor random scaled eroded melody generator YouTube freebie. That's a long name, but yeah, you get the idea. The first words are the ones that matter the most, so we recognize what we are dealing with. So yeah, that is basically it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the... Well, also if you want to comment and give me ideas for next videos, tell me what you think about this one. I'm gonna leave the links for the other Hocket machines, the Shepherd Stones, and also my newest bank, which is called Racked Up. 64 of these racks, instrument and drum racks. If you guys want to check that out, it's on my Gumroad shop. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope it wasn't too long. It's 35-minute recording, but I'm gonna try to edit it down to the most crucial parts. I love you all. I see you next time. Bye.